Here's what I tell President Trump. Keep it up for a few more weeks. Take Kharg Island, where all of the resources they have to produce oil. Control that island. Let this regime die on a vine.
Is this going to...
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Veteran Uncensored. My name is Chris Rodriguez here. Don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new for more videos. Unbiased, neutral opinion. I am a conservative, but regardless, we have to do what's best for the United States of America. And America first is my motto. Think. It's not illegal yet. You don't have to follow a certain party for the sake of it. Regardless, we're not going to waste time at all. Lindsey Graham is just a warmonger. It's just as simple as that. And listen, he basically treats our service members as cattle that we just, go on and send out there. And if they die, they die. He compares them to Iwo Jima, for God's sake. Listen, I mean, let's go to Sat 1. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get right to it.
But let's start there on the SAVE Act.
Okay.
You heard Senator Van Hollen. He says it's going to disenfranchise millions of people. Why would you do that?
Oh, they said that in Georgia when Georgia tightened up their voter laws and you had the largest turnout of African Americans in the history of Georgia voting. They say that all the time, Jim Crow 2.0. I don't know why we're having such a hard time finding common ground when 84% of the country believes you should have ID. So this is a game they play. They're not, the people who let 15 million people in are not going to do anything to kick them out. They're not going to do anything to make sure they can't vote or register to vote. That's meaningful. I hate to say that, but if you're willing to open your border up, obliterate all your laws and let 15 million people come to this country, 2 million, we don't even know who they are and where they're at, you're the last people on the planet that is really going to tighten this up. So they're open borders people. They're not into controlling honest elections.
Okay, but during the Biden administration, when Democrats offered up their national agenda, a piece of federal legislation that they said would tighten up elections, Republicans decried the idea of federalizing anything that's supposed to be left to the states.
I think we're at a point now with 15 million people invading the country, you've got to have some control. I think what happened during Biden is that they obliterated the concept of sovereignty. I've been working with Democrats for decades to try to find a middle ground. During Biden's 4 years, everything was wiped out. Our border was no longer under control. People were sent all over the country. Tom Homan said 2 million people are gotaways. We never know. We never find out who they were and where they're at. And Iran's threatening our homeland. Our friends on the other side are playing Russian roulette with our national security. I've never been more worried about a large-scale attack on our country than I am right now. You got Iran threatening everything in the world, including parks. So now's not the time to shut down DHS. I want all of it funded, and I want all of it funded now so we can protect.
I want all of it. I want all of it funded. Who are you, man? You're the president. What are you on about? What are you talking about? I mean, why? I don't understand this. And this is a veteran, by the way, Lindsey Graham.
American people from a threat that's real. Iran was this close to having a nuclear weapon.
No, hold on. What's this close? Put it in words. Put it in terms that we can understand, Lindsey. Don't talk about this close. What does that mean?
During negotiations, they told Kushner and Witkoff, our negotiators, they bragged about having 460 kilograms of uranium enriched at 60%. Well, if you go to 90%, you got a weapon. 60 to 90 is 2 weeks.
Wait.
So 460 kilograms at 90%.
Hold on. Let's go back in this because I saw a discrepancy there.
They bragged about having 460 kilograms of uranium enriched at 60%. Well, if you go to 90%, you got a weapon. 60 to 90 is 2 weeks. So 460 kilograms at 90%, which would have taken 2 weeks, is 10 bombs. Under the regimes Democrats have been supporting and Republicans, they're not supposed to have any 60% enriched uranium. There's no commercial purpose for uranium enriched at that level. They just fired missiles that could get to Diego Garcia 4,000 kilometers. Everything to control this regime in terms of their missile program, their nuclear program has failed. So what has Trump done? He's obliterated their ability to make more missiles. He's obliterated their nuclear program, and he's going to take them out of the terrorist business. In about 3 or 4 weeks, maybe less, We'll be
what
in a
if it
situation.
goes beyond that? The American people are nervous, and
They should be nervous.
even supporters of President Trump have said this does not need to continue.
Well, I'm telling you, what needs to continue is to make sure that the largest state sponsor of terrorism can't get a nuclear weapon to blow us all up and hold us hostage. To the American people, they were 2 weeks away from having 90% enriched uranium to make 10 bombs. They've got missiles that go 4,000 kilometers. We're not going to live that way anymore. Since 1979, these people have been terrorizing the world. They've got American blood on their hands, and here's what we accomplished in 20 days. Their missile program has been obliterated.
But
their
we saw
nuclear
the missile that
program
went
has been
towards
obliterated,
Deir
and
Garcia.
they're running out of money. So here's what I tell President Trump. Keep it up for a few more weeks. Take Kharg Island, where all of the resources they have to produce oil, control that island, let this regime die on a vine.
Is this going to, though, take Kharg Island? Is it going to involve...
Hold on. So he wants for us to go to Kharg Island and like put our troops on an island. Like you're literally saying it is when you mention it, when you pronounce it, you're putting them in an island where Iranians will know where our troops will be. I mean, this is, by the way, and this is an officer well, I didn't know if he was an officer. I'm pretty sure he was an officer. This is a veteran that with any small tactical nous, you would know and tell, it could tell that you put them in an island where Iran would know where they're at, and they could just bomb the crap out of that island with no escape route, no nothing. And by the way, what are we supposed to do at Kharg Island necessarily? What are we supposed to do? I mean, why can't we? I mean, we got bases in Kuwait. We got bases in Israel. I mean, not Israel, but we could go to Israel. We got bases all over the place. So why would go into this small island? We go to Sat 2, by the way. Here we go. So this is, I don't know if you notice, but let's zoom out. This is Iran right here, obviously, right? Let us just scroll in to Kharg Island. Kharg Island, ladies and gents, let's zoom in, is this tiny little place with an airstrip and a row and a couple of main roads right there. And this guy wants us to put U.S. troops there. For what reason in particular? What would be the reasoning for that? The moment you put troops in there and here, you're putting them in a position to just get annihilated. The carnage would be incredible. So why would you want to do this to our troops? I have no idea what this guy is talking about. He's literally a warmonger. What would you want to do this? I want to know the opinion. Why would you want to do this? For what? What is the benefit? Please, somebody explain to me. I am dumb. I am a U.S. vet. I'm just a dummy. Let me know in the comment section below, please. Let's continue with this video.
U.S. troops on the ground. Let me just read you something from The Atlantic. Does an assessment on that. They say U.S. troops may well take Kharg Island. We believe in their ability to do so, but only to endure ballistic missile strikes, drone attacks, petrochemical smoke, all without a reliable means of obtaining logistical support. The result could be a grinding war of attrition. They talk about how far away they would be from resupply.
I'm sort of
Common
tired
sense.
of all this armchair quarterback, and this has been an amazing military operation. God bless the fallen.
But it's a difference when we talk about troops on the ground.
What are you talking about? God bless the fallen. You're already killing them. Or what are you talking about? God bless the fallen. Of course, God bless the fallen. Let's try to limit the amount of fallen soldiers that we have. How about that? And he goes on about he rubbishes the report from The Atlantic. Or would you know? He doesn't trust anybody. He just trusts Lindsey Graham. He is going to be. Lindsey? Why aren't you out there? I don't know, volunteering or something. You were in the military. Help us out. Well, actually, maybe you shouldn't. This guy probably shouldn't be nowhere near President Trump's ear at all. But he is, because Trump lets these people in, and it's unfortunate, but it does happen. I mean, what are you talking about? God bless a fallen soldier when you talk about sending troops over here. I mean, it's insane.
I trust the Marines, not that guy. I trust DOD. We got 2 Marine expeditionary units sailing to this island. We did Iwo Jima. We can do this. The Marines, my money is always on the Marines. I don't know if you take the island or you blockade the island, but I know this. The day we control that island, this regime, this terrorist regime, has been weakened. It will die on a vine. And here's what I want to do. I want to get with Chris.
Wow. I have to pause that. I have to pause it because I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. He's talking about Iwo Jima. Iwo Jima, ladies and gents. You want to know some stats about Iwo Jima? I mean, this is a massacre. Meat grinder. Of course. He's going to say, you know, I trust the Marines. I trust the Marines. Of course you would trust the Marines. But what are they going to tell you? No, we can't go. We're deserting. We don't want to go out there. Are you kidding me? These soldiers, the military, serves the commander-in-chief, President Donald Trump, regardless if they believe in him, regardless if they voted for him, regardless of any political affiliation. Because the military serves their country. So they're going to go there. Of course they're going to go there. Can we do it? Can we take over this small island? Of course we can. But the amount of deaths, and for what? To conquer it so we can just get missiled to death. What are you talking about? I mean, this is you want to know some stats about Iwo Jima? 26,000 American casualties, including nearly 7,000 killed in action, while nearly all of the 21,000 plus Japanese defenders were killed. It was one of the bloodiest battles in the Marine Corps history, with American wounded exceeding 19,000, and Japanese prisoners numbering only in the hundreds, of course. But regardless, the amount of casualties, 26,000. And this guy wants me to believe that we should just model that into this. Are you talking? That's not necessarily the right example, my friend. I mean, this guy is just unbelievable. Come on, let's finish with this video.
I want to sprint to peace. As the war winds down, I want peace to ramp up. The reason we don't have Saudi Arabia and Israel making peace is October the 7th, 2023, Iran through Hamas attacked Israel, stopping normalization. I want to take up and complete what Biden started. As soon as we get Iran defanged so they can never do another October 7th, I want to start up peace talks between Saudi and Israel this year. I want a peace deal between Saudi and Israel, normalizing, ending the Arab-Israeli conflict. It's been going on for 2,000 years this year, and you can't do it with a lethal Iran. So we're weeks away from this Iranian regime not having the capability to stop peace.
Okay, very quickly, though, because we got to go. Who is going to be negotiating for Iran? What's the new leadership going to be?
I don't know. We don't need to really worry about negotiating with Iran. We need to keep them in a box. What are you going to negotiate Iran with? What I want to do is contain them, take their missile program and keep it blown up, make sure they can never sprint out to a nuke, make sure they have no money to support terrorism, control the island and let them die on a vine, and hopefully the people will rise up. What I'm looking for is defanging Iran so we can move to peace. The Iranian people one day will have ability to take their country back. But we have the best chance in 2,000 years, when Iran is neutralized, for Saudi and Israel to recognize each other in the Arab-Israeli conflict. That is my goal. That is President Trump's goal. 2026 could be the biggest year since 1945 if we neutralize Iran. Don't let them do it again.
Well, okay.
The biggest day since 1945. These people are so up Israel's ass that is beyond belief, beyond belief. God bless the Jewish people. God bless the Muslim people. God bless the Christian people. God bless everybody, because that's the Christian way of doing it. God has created us all. Some of us don't. Some of us, I believe, on the right thing, Christianism. But some do believe in other religions. It's their prerogative. But regardless, they're human beings created by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I mean, what are you talking about? You're talking about 1945. That's a political that's a political territory. That's Israel, the country. You know, nothing to do with the Bible. Nothing to do with the Bible. I mean, this guy is, again, they're so far up Israel's rear end, they can't see straight. They can't see straight. Let's go with the reactions on X about what Lindsey Graham has been saying, which is incredible. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna says, I am deeply upset of the lack of respect for life Senator Lindsey Graham is displaying when talking about our troops. He is acting as if they are expendable cattle. This is unacceptable and dark. And she also says, and there were over, 26,000 American casualties in Iwo Jima. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is unbelievable. Matt Walsh here says just a few lines. Today, Lindsey Graham, who for some reason has been the White House top spokesman for this war, went on TV and invoked Iwo Jima while calling for more escalation in Iran. Iwo Jima, of course, involved 26,000 U.S. casualties. It's extremely troubling that Graham has so much influence with the administration and has been so empowered to speak on its behalf. He's not conservative. He's not America first. He has never done a single thing in his career to advance the interests of actual American citizens. And he clearly wants this war to continue indefinitely and doesn't care how many Americans die in the process. He should have no influence and no say over anything. He's one of the worst people. He's one of the worst people in all Congress, and that includes Democrats. Ooh, my goodness gracious. That is a take and a half there. Quickly here, Nancy May says Lindsey Graham has one foreign policy, sent someone else's kid to war. He was wrong about Iraq. He was wrong about Afghanistan. And he's wrong about Iran, as well as she also says, I think it's the same person, just different accounts. Lindsey Graham needs to be removed from the Situation Room. I don't want to hear one word from a guy who has no kids, desperately sending our sons and daughters into war on the ground in Iran. I mean, it's just incredibly troubling. It's just troubling. Here, Senator, Paul Dance for Senate says Lindsey Graham is drunk on war and power. He will send your kids to die so he can line his pockets with money. Listen, it's just an unbelievable thing. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It makes no sense at all. And to be honest, why are we listening to Lindsey Graham? Why is he not worried about South Carolina? Why is he not speaking on that? They have a senator that only speaks about war and war and war and more war. Send more troops out there. He doesn't have to come back to live without legs, limbs, faces, burns, and everything else that you get the casualties of war. He doesn't have to deal with you coming back in a box or your sons coming back in a box and having to deal with that. He doesn't have to deal with that. So it's a shame. And he's a U.S. veteran. It's unbelievable. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.